We are now
Hello.
live again. Welcome to another exciting episode.
I feel it real fun
Yeah.
live.
Good luck with
I've got
that.
to remember what I'm
Good
saying.
luck with that.
On the 11th of April 2025.
Oh wow, look at that. There
And
they are.
it's your manifesting questions answered live.
That's it. Everyone said to me.
That's right.
All right.
So go to,
Hey, we've got a really special show today. We're going to cover some cool shit for you and other people.
and where are we going to send them?
We're going to send them right now to NevilleGoddardStore.com.
Okay.
All right. Yeah,
NevilleGoddardStore.com.
why not? Get some good shit.
Get some good shit.
Hey, by the way, no. Backtrack. JosephGoddardToTheMax.com. People are picking that up in droves because of the podcast this week. JosephGoddardToTheMax.com. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that today. Maybe we'll make up a question for that today. Maybe we'll just do that
Maybe
today
we
for
won't.
fun.
Yes.
Maybe we won't.
I think there's a special price on that at the moment.
Yeah, we've decided to. You can save $20, but not
Very
forever.
cool.
Some people go, "Oh, I saw you did that 6 months ago, and it dicked around." Yeah, how's that fucking working out for you?
Cool. Okay. Join remarkable.com.
That's right. Think of it this way: for $200 a month, right? 2 group calls, private Facebook group, chat that goes on fire every day. If you want to talk to me for 2 minutes, I'll actually talk to you like for 2 minutes, right? That's all tossed in. That's at $200 a month, and if you pay for the year, you get 50% off. Anyway, or if you make me chase you for money, I won't be happy.
No.
So
Okay. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
I chatted with a lovely one this morning, and she goes, "Oh my God, I didn't have any idea." I says, "I get it. It's tech, right? We'll work it out."
Cool.
So
Okay. And there's a Neville got a quote for today.
that's from Bonnie Donaldson.
Oh, good on you, Bonnie.
That's right.
All right. And Bonnie quoted Neville saying, "We must live boldly. We must go through life as though we possessed what we want to possess. Do not think that because you helped another, someone on the outside of you saw your good works and will give you something to ease your burden."
Because you're a good freaking guy.
Yeah,
Right?
it won't happen that way. There is no one to do it for you. You yourself must go boldly on appropriating what your Father has already given you. Cool. And that was Neville from Bonnie. Thank you, Bonnie.
Cool. Okay, so
And-
I'm going to try to share to a group or two. So
The first question today.
wouldn't it be nice if Facebook made this? Wouldn't it be nice if they shared it? You know, wouldn't it be nice if they made
Amongst
it easy
their
for me?
own groups.
Yeah, if they made it easy for me to share it.
That's right.
All right.
So the first question today is from Swara on Facebook.
That's right.
State stealing.
That's what I'm calling it.
And Swara asks, how do I use someone else's state if they have what I desire?
Right. So I'm going to chunk this a little bit of a different way because it sounds to me like you're complicating this. And by the way, I love state stealing. I steal states all the time. But I've got a skill set that has 30 years of experience to do that. When people just go, "Oh, just pretend you're somebody," or just don't do that. Right? Now, here's the thing. Ready? I know people that own really nice cars that are constant complaining about what it costs them. And they're afraid to drive the damn things because they're afraid somebody will hit the nice car. Right? They're not in a state that I enjoy. So on the other hand, my friend Rod owned a collectible CLK Mercedes, gorgeous car. And Rod just loves that car. Still does. Rod, he doesn't own it anymore. I do. But I get that Rod loved owning that car. And I'm really nuts about something. So with the, we've got something really cool coming up called the Power of Personal. And we've got a really cool, double cool thing going on with that right now. You can't see because of the fucking Herman. But I digress. So I didn't put on the state of Rod to buy the car. I explored what it was like to own a car that I am so happy and satisfied with and love, and that my wife loves and adores. And so I explored that by exploring Rod. and the qualities of rod that I chose to take in. So it's not like, oh, I'll be Richard Branson. I go, rightio, Richard Branson's the guy that gets stuck at the airport. And instead of accepting like the refund, he goes, I'll rent a fucking plane. Right? I'm going to have fun. And he rents a plane and he goes around and he says, hey, I'm Richard Branson. I just rented a plane to get us where we got to go, you in or not. Yes
And
or no.
that's how Virgin Airlines
And that's how
started.
Virgin Airlines
Yeah.
started. And that's behind Richard's whole thing. But I don't go, oh, I'll steal the state of Richard Branson. I steal how he reacts to problems. Because your state determines how you react to problems and possibilities. And he didn't just rent one plane, like Victoria said. Yeah, my name's Richard. I rented a plane. He could have stopped there. Right? Oh, I met this crazy guy, Richard. He rented a plane. We all flew to the Bahamas or wherever they were going. Some little brown island or something, green island. And isn't it great that people I can offend so casually? And but he went to this place. It was a green island with brown people or something like that. I don't remember. And I'm in an offensive mood today, kids. But you know what? He actually has a way about him. So I'd suggest, why not steal people's ways about them? In other words, how they perceive the world. Because, Victoria, what is a state? That's right. A state is how you experience what you experience.
Yes.
It's how you are seeing and being in the world. And some people can't handle a speed bump. Richard Branson forms an airline. So,
Yeah. Cool.
by the way,
Thinking of it in terms of Neville's quote as well about
boldly.
what we possess or what we want to possess and
Yes.
then go boldly.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I did for the longest time, Victoria? Without realizing it, I stole my parents' state of marriage.
Not good.
Yeah, not good at all, right?
They didn't do too well.
I
Now
love
they're
my mom,
mine.
love my dad, but they tended to have a use-by date of about like 8 years. And when I moved here and I reached out to my ex-wife and I said, look, can you help me out with paperworks? Right? And she helped me out with all these paperworks. And she goes, do you have any idea how long your significant relationships last? I said, I don't know. She says, do you have any idea how long your parents lasted? I don't know, because I needed all that shit. And she goes, take a peek and get back to me. And I called her up and I said, wow, that's amazing, right? I'm my mom and dad. I don't
8
like
years.
that. Yeah, 8 years, right? And
Well, we blitzed that.
yeah, we double that, and we'll double that again, right? Just for fun. But you're stealing states all the time because you go, oh wow, because that's how it is. That's how it is for mommy and daddy. That's how it's got to be for me because I'm littler than them, and you're bigger than everything put together. So
Cool.
let's begin there.
Okay. So that was for Swara. Thanks very much for your question, Swara.
We'll continue to answer your question and more as we continue and do more in the show.
Okay, the next question is from Megan on Facebook. How do you know ... I don't suppose it's Meghan Markle. No.
No, I tell you, I love me some Meghan Markle. Like, I mean, she was hot in the old days, like
Suits.
Madonna. I loved her in Suits.
Yeah.
Right, and the guy in Suits reminded me of Mike Popson.
I thought you were going to say reminding you of you.
No. But Mikey was the guy that was in the handshake induction video and my invisible striking video and my instant knockout video. Mikey didn't care, right? So, but the guy that in Suits with Megan,
Yeah.
really, it's just like Mikey. And we used to watch that show and I'd cry because Mikey's dead. Like, that's what happens. People go do videos with me and...
Okay, so we'll get
Anyway.
back to Megan.
Yeah, people make connections, don't they?
Megan asks, if someone is acting a certain way towards you because it is an aspect of yourself pushed out, or is it because they're exercising their free will?
This is great, Megan. By the way, Mike Patton, hello. I just want to make sure that I was saying Mike Popson before, not Mike Patton. Just so we're clear about some things, right? And Mike has
Yes.
not been in any of my videos yet, and he's still
And
alive.
he's not dead yet.
Oh my God! And there's Frank. Frank knew Dead Mike. Well, we don't call him Dead Mike, but he say Mike's on his next adventure up
yeah,
to mischief.
Frank.
You ever see him, Frank?
In his dreams or
I
something.
do. Anyway, so Megan, right? So how do we know, right? So Neville has some great stuff here, right? Because people say, the only person in my reality that has free will is me. Yeah, let's see how that goes. All right, you want to know why your special person runs like hell when they see you? Right? They pick up on the fact that you don't think they really exist or have free will, right? On the other hand, Neville says that you've got the free will to choose.
To choose a state.
Yeah, you could choose a state. By the way, that's where it ends. So this morning, I didn't record one, but 2 podcasts. They'll get up later. We're doing a show. I wrote a lot of good shit today, and I shared some of my systems today in the Remarkable chat. You guys that aren't there are missing out on so much gold, right? You have no idea what you're not missing out on. But
You're not missing out on it.
that's right. You have no idea. Like in all seriousness, it's like saying, you know what? Ate me a noodle once. Right? Don't got to eat no pescetti no more or no noodles. Like,
But I mean, that could be the full concept. Well, that could be all that's discussed in the chat, but we know it's definitely not.
noodles.
Nothing to do with noodles
No.
and eating. Or,
But here's the thing, right? So people will go, I've made up my mind about what free will I have and what free will I don't, and who has free will and who doesn't. And Neville just puts it really elegantly. Everyone has the ability to accept or reject a state, an idea, a concept that they live by. And I think that's pretty darn groovy, because if I imagine, you know what, I'm a happy, loving husband, I can accept that. And I can accept that wish in its fullness because I know who I am and how this works. If I go, yeah, I'm a happy, loving husband because she's subservient to me and agrees with me on everything that I say and follows me around like a lost puppy. We'll see how that works out, right?
yes.
So do I determine how she reacts to any of this, or does her state? Right? Your state determines the stories you accept and reject as true. Your story accepts what you accept, or determines what you accept as possibilities or problems, how you react to those darn things.
So is yourself pushed out
Oh, this is going to be
really
so
what
good.
Neville means by the state that you dwell in? That's the reflection, and people are, well, they're using the words of you pushed out, but it's like, because when you're in that state, it feels like that's all you can witness, all you can see.
Neighbor Ron, Joe's seen his
So
house.
there's no yes or no, is there?
there will be. Right there's. By the way,
Always does this.
y'all that say I never give a straight
It never
answer.
gets to the point.
I invite you to explore. So ground control
So
to neighbor
neighbor
Ron,
Ron, yes.
right? And Joe's seen his house, right? It's huge, and he's got more frontage. He's got about as much frontage as we do, but our frontage is just a little piece of like our
And
house.
his garage is even bigger than the
Yeah, and his
than
house is even bigger.
house.
Well, neighbor Ron, since building Battlestar Run, has had 3 people smash into his fence. 2 have actually permeated or bumped into the structures, right? And how fascinating. I don't have that problem.
I don't know how they do that, because it's a
Yeah,
straight road.
they've got to be really creative. So, neighbor Ron and I were talking this morning about this, and all 3 accidents have been like utterly fascinating with how they happen, right? I don't accept that. So in my world, is it that me pushed out is causing neighbor Ron's blah, blah? Yeah, no, not at all. Here's my experience. Shit happens in the world. Sometimes it happens to me, and I shower off. Right? That's pretty much it. Yeah, when we start getting into, is my sister-in-law me pushed out, what I accept about her in my life sure is. And I can lift her up, and I can do that with anyone. But the thing is, when somebody sends me a package, I don't have to open it. So they can send me any package they want, but sometimes if it's got meat in it, it gets detained by customs. Don't send me meat. They really don't like it when people send me meat. But it's this whole thing of like, instead of being concerned about you pushed out there, do they have free will? What am I experiencing is true. I experience being a happy, loving husband, and a happy, loving husband just wants her to be happy. And sometimes she accepts that blessing, and sometimes she don't.
So Neville, it's Neville's quote, isn't it? You pushed out, or it's
Well,
not?
that's
Did he not even ever say
No,
it?
he said that, but boy, they twist it around because
Oh,
you
no.
pushed out is me pushed out, and me pushed out is you pushed out, and since you
I'm
don't have
just
free
asking:
will,
is that what you pushed out? Is it what I was asking? Like, if you dwell in a state, if you're in a state,
so the garden is you pushed out.
yes.
Yep. Is the garden beautiful, or is the garden a chore?
Yeah, well, it depends on my state.
Depends on your state. Same
Yes,
garden.
yes.
Now, this morning you showed me in the garden one of your new plants,
Yes.
and I'm using this because she appropriated this plant. I accepted it.
Appropriated
Yeah,
it.
she appropriated it. She called them up and said, "Look," and they
I
sort of
need
dicked
three
her. They sort of
more.
dicked her around a little bit, and she got what she needed at a better price.
Yes.
And they're better
And a
plants.
discount.
Yeah,
as well,
and
on
a
top.
discount, right? A better
Yes.
price, a discount, and they're better plants.
Yeah.
So she appropriated them. So her pushed out is, yeah, right. Now the old her pushed out would go, oh, I'll struggle. I'll call 700 fucking places. You say you don't have them. You may not get them. It was, whenever you were complicated, you had complicated going on everywhere.
I did.
On the other hand, when people call you up who've got complicated going everywhere, you get off the phone and you just go, this is insane.
I do that cartoon.
Yeah, you shake it off because you're not no longer that complicated. So is there complicated you pushed out? No. Their complications are their complications. And you can lift them up and they can accept or reject the blessing. So how do I know? Yeah, I just don't give a shit. Here's what I do. How can I be the blessing with you? Right? How can I be the blessing with you today? There was a new guy working at the liquor land today. He was a substitute, and he was a little awkward. Right? By the time I left the place, he was not awkward.
Callum.
Right? Yeah, we had a blast. Because I walk in and I go, your ass is mine. You're going to have fun today. Welcome. He's never been in this store before. Yeah, guess what, pal? Right? And I leave and he's going, what was your name?
Oh, he'll tell Josh all about you.
And I said, who relieves you? Who comes in later on? He goes, I don't know. Someone's coming in at 12:30. I said, tell them I was here. They'll know.
Yeah, they'll know who 20 is.
That's right.
Okay, cool. So that was for Megan. Thanks very much for your question, Megan. The next question's from Sabasacci on Facebook. Negative talk and limiting beliefs.
I love Sabasacci's name. It's
I
almost
hope
like a
I'm
dance.
saying it right. It looks like that, but maybe it's not.
Sabasacci.
And Sabasacci asks, sometimes our society, parents, cause some negative talk, limiting belief. Marriage is tough. Nobody will marry you when you want. Money is difficult. Life is not a bed of roses. You're good for nothing, etc. These sometimes make me sad and fearful. Why does this happen and how do I deal with it? And what to assume, why this happened and how to deal with it. I notice there's no I in there, but anyway. What to assume so that they
So
never...
was her not using proper language because English is her second or third language? Is that you pushed out?
No, but I just wondered with how to deal with it. How do I deal with it? Might bring it home more, but anyway, maybe not. It's probably not. I'll keep going, Sabasacci. How do I deal with it? What to assume so that they never say that? Any suggestion, please?
All right. See, some people take a shit and wipe off. Some people take a shit and wipe around.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of smear. I'm a fan of shower. And here's what I notice. By the way, y'all that aren't in Remarkable, come on. Right, like I said, $200 a month, 2 group calls, plus we do shopping trips, plus there's like this chat, plus, and you can save 50% and pay for the whole year all at once. That makes that $100 a month, no brainer, and you get a one-on-one call with me. Crash commercial over. So, here's the big deal. Your state determines what story you accept as true. It does it so fast. Right? So my state of happy, loving teacher who understands who the hell he is and how the hell this works, I hear people and I go, like seriously, I just go, do you really believe that? Because how's that working for you? And I do this not just on the internet where it's safe. I do it at the pool where they could drown me, right? and it's really interesting because when you decide I'm going to explore who I am and how this works. And you can do it on your own. You can do it with us. I'd at the very least suggest sticking around in our group and stuff. But it's like, I really don't care. Yeah. So I've got one client this week, extremely successful, and we're talking about the market crash and all this anxiety going on in the world. And here's the thing: when the prices go down, you buy a lot. When the prices go up, who cares? Now that's what rich people do. What silly people do is when the prices go down, shit, it's going to keep going. We're all going to die. I'm going to sell everything now. Okay, well, if we're all going to die and everything's going to become worthless, why would you sell everything now? It's a completely different state. So it's like right now, everybody's going, oh, the world's coming to an end again. Yeah, it's Trump, financial crash, all that stuff. The market's dropped. Well, if you watch the markets yesterday, I've got some dear friends that made some damn good money because there was this big boom, right? They just went, all right, let me pull some of the liquid and I'll put it someplace solid. On the other hand, people were taking the solid and dumping it. That's just dumb. Now, here's the thing. What stories are you able to listen to? What stories are you able to reject? That all depends on your states. So here's another crass commercial for Remarkable.com. I'm sorry, join Remarkable.com. We're studying the 12 disciples this year. And even if you join now, you're not behind. But the first disciple was Simon Peter. Simon Peter admits only the honorable and the dignified. And here's what I mean by that. This is my spin on that. I admit only what honors my state and dignifies the Lord. So when people talk shit to me, I go, radio, let me ask you a question. How's that feel in your body? You're getting an ulcer over Trump? Right? Did you vote for him? Did you not? Right? They're Australians, for God's sake. Right? They've got nothing better to get worked up about. We're all done getting worked up about Dan and Albo and all of our losers. So we got to get worked up about your people. And it's just like, radio. My state goes, I don't care. I'm going to kick some ass. Let's ask Victoria. Have I kicked ass this week?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got shit going on.
Loads.
Like
in so many different arenas.
In so many different arenas. I've taken off the gloves. And so negative self-talk and limiting beliefs, I don't care. What I tend to do is challenge them. I said, yeah, you think? Right. Yeah. Yeah. But when they get that I'm dismissing their bullshit and not dismissing them, some of them come around and some of them go away. And that's fine by me. So that's how I look at it, because you're not going to stop them, but you can stop their bullshit actually making any sense to you. Because I just look at it and go, that's gibberish. God, if I had an extra car to sell, I would have sold a car this week and bought stocks. It's like, oh my God, right? We should have sold one of Ron's cars. Yeah. Yeah, give us the money.
God, Ron's cars.
Yeah, why not? Something he wouldn't notice.
He's got a lot of cars.
He's got more cars than God. So,
yeah.
Hello from Denver, Bonnie Donaldson. We quoted you in a bit.
Oh, hello, Bonnie. Yeah, thank you. We started off the show with your quote.
That's right. Cool.
Well,
so you have to watch the beginning of the show, too.
Yes. Okay. So, cool. Yeah, that's for Sabasashi.
Yes.
Yes?
Do you think it addressed it at all?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, I
think so.
totally get where you're coming from. I know with my mum, these days, every single time I see or speak to her on the phone, the same comment comes up, which is always, oh, I don't know, Victoria. You'll know what it's like when you're my age. And it's just like, no. So I discount, it's not, whatever it is, like there's hearing loss, whatever. Can't think straight, dementia, do you know what I mean? All of that sort of stuff. And it always ends up with that. I just wish I was dead. You'll know when you're my age. And it's just like, oh, Mum, it's not happening to me.
So by the way, that's a really common story that people buy into. Oh, you know,
when you get old,
yeah, I'm bored blaming you.
Blind, deaf, all of that.
I'm bored blaming her.
Yeah.
How about if I blame age now? Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am old. I've accepted that. Let's blame Trump.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, yeah, I think that's good. Do you think that's good for Sabasachi?
Yeah, I think that's good. You know, I was told as a kid, and that you see, I was a preemie. I was born 3 months early, 2 pounds 4 ounces. That's about the weight of a kilo of ground beef, right? Or flour, right? Like I'd touch flour. Yeah, but and I was an allergy kid, and I was just told, you know, you'll probably never get caught up, and well, you always be weaker than the other kids. I went on to be a karate champion in my teenagers bit. Right? They told me when I was 12 or 13 I'd be a cripple in my 20s. I'd be living in a wheelchair.
Did you wear leg braces?
Fuck no.
Oh, right. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. No, they gave me these ridiculous exercises to do, and they said if
All
you don't
right.
do these, you're going to wear leg braces.
All
And
right.
it's like I don't wear
Yeah.
socks. I don't understand what your problem is. I don't even wear socks. I don't like them.
Yeah.
Right? I wore them in the wintertime because it was cold in Pennsylvania. But as soon as I got to the YMCA, man, those suckers
Everything
were.
off.
Yeah. I was as naked as you could get at the gymnasium,
Whoa.
which means naked place, by the way. But I digress.
Cool.
All right, I think that's good. So, Masachi, stick around. We'll continue to answer your questions and everyone else's as we continue to answer questions and everyone else.
Yeah. Okay. The next question is from Christy on Facebook. How to cure myself from ... And Christy asks, I saw a dental related post earlier and wondered how to use Neville's teachings to cure myself of clenching. I have a night guard, but I'd rather not wear it and instead be clench free.
All right. So, years ago, I met a woman and I said, woman, how about if we go out on a date? What do you like to eat, woman? And she goes, I don't like me no noodles. And I went,
So it's not me. Yes.
it's like, right, I don't like me no noodles. It's like, all right, help me out here. It's like, well, don't like me no. And do you think we went anywhere? Right? She's probably still talking to somebody about saying what you don't like.
Oh.
And here's the thing, right? So I get it. We personalize pain and problems, right? Until you don't. I've been chatting with a lot of people. So it was my birthday, April 1st, right? And so people texted me happy birthday, hundreds. What a problem to have. And then I got the emails. Good God. And so I write back, how you doing? What's going on? And some people actually engage me in what I would call
Conversation.
witty conversation. I just love it. And eventually I'm asking some questions. And there's a lot of people that are telling me, well, like nothing's going on. And I look at their previous comments and emails. Nothing's been going on for a couple of years. And I go, all right. Anything you want help with? And they always tell me about problems. And I go, wow. You see, whenever you make your problems, your pains, your panics more real than you, yeah, I'm not a fan. We all can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? It's pretty darn easy.
And it's a bit like this power of personal,
It is.
but those people have made the personal the problems.
Yes.
And they're now living in the power of problems rather than
absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm broken.
possibility.
Yeah. And this is exactly it. And Victoria's using exactly what I would call the right language. The when your problems and your panic and your pain become more real to you than your possibilities, when your dreads are more real than your dreams, you've just sold your soul.
Yeah. And I get actually, for example, I gave the example of my mother, so she's blaming age, but when I'd say to her, well, not me, and it doesn't have to be like that, or whatever,
She's got a story.
she's got her personal she's just so convinced about the problem. Oh, where was I going to go with that? Because it was really... Anyway, that she can't even hear
No, not at all.
the possibility at all.
Yep.
Because she's just in that world of, no, this is what's real for me.
So your state determines your state. Let's define a state.
Yeah.
A state is how you experience what you experience.
Yeah.
You know what determines what you can experience? Your state. And wow, they actually can't hear
Anything but. Yeah.
anything but.
Yeah.
And when they do hear anything
That
but, they go,
supports that state.
yeah, you couldn't
Yes.
understand. See, I have people that say, Mr. 20, you wouldn't understand. I grew up poor. Yeah, you ready? Cheese line. Right, I've got all kind of stories about getting the food baskets and
You did
welfare
love
and
farmer's cheese, yes.
oh well, no, U.S. government cheese, damn good shit back in the old days.
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
And yeah, the government peanut butter, pure good shit, right? But I know this stuff, and they say, "Oh, Mr. 20, but I've got health problems. You wouldn't understand." Oh, how about scoliosis, a flat foot, PTSD? They said would never go away. I've got a whole list of diagnosed and undiagnosed things that I can brag about too. Except I didn't accept them, right? Yeah, they don't last here. So whenever you focus on fixing a pain, fixing a problem. If you look at me over the past 16 months or so, I moved into a state that I call fighting fit because I love fighting. I love doing kung fu.
And he loves being fit.
And I love being fit. And my body has transformed easily, effortlessly. And people will blame the fact that I go to the gym. People will blame the fact that I eat differently. But the reason I show up in the gym and the reason I eat differently is because I moved into a state.
Because you moved into that state, exactly.
But the state was personal. It was never about fixing my hip. It was about fighting fit.
And it was so much easier for you, in a way, because you historically you've been that. You've
Yes.
been fighting fit, so it's very personal to you.
Yes.
You know what that state is all about and how it feels, and it just, yeah.
So at some point you didn't have a, what do you call it?
Clenching.
A clenching thing. Night guard. You could explore what it was like before you needed that. But let's say you were born and you got a night guard like on day one.
Sleep like a baby.
Right? Yeah. Well, I love sleeping like a baby. You know, like waking up screaming and pissing and shitting yourself
No,
every 2 hours.
no,
That's
don't
what
do
sleeping
that.
like a baby is like, right?
Yeah.
Well, people don't notice these things. They have these funny phrases, and they go, "Words have power." I'm imagining sleeping like a baby, and I still can't. So, what, are you waking up screaming and pissing and shitting yourself every 2 hours? Yeah,
Yeah.
you got your
Well,
wish
you
fulfilled,
are.
right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so, but you know, like, what if you've never been fighting fit? Do you want to do kung fu? Huh? I never owned a Mercedes, but Rod did, and so I just chat with him, like, what's it like to own a car like that and be happy with it? You know, 20, I love that car, right? Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, I can do that. It's these tiny little things. So if you try to cure yourself of it, you're still focusing on it. Like I
On the problem,
like
yeah.
I said about noodles. I don't like me no noodles. All right, well, what do you like? Well, I don't like me no turkey. All right. How about what else?
I like me some donuts.
Yeah, now I know what to buy her. But this is so true. She's demonstrating it, right? So it's like, all right, you know, if you didn't have that damn thing, what? It's
The clenching.
the clenching thing. Yeah, so I lost my walking sticks. I threw one out because it was bent. I have no idea where the other one is.
I do.
Right? She does. I don't have a clue. Right? And it's sort of fun being clueless because I haven't needed one for so long that I don't know where it is, and I don't even know if it's here. So one of the Imagine Acts, if you don't want to play where I love to play, which is identitybasedmanifesting.com, which I'd strongly suggest, or Power of Personal. We've got that 21-day fast track coming up end of this month. But if you want to play with what I'll just call a mundane experience that you can let become magical, where the fuck is it?
So if you want to play with a mundane experience...
Yeah, that could be magical.
That could be magical.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
I don't even know where it is.
Oh, right.
Right, I don't have a clue. Right, I used to own a BMW. I just found out where it is the other day. Right, I hadn't seen it in months. It's like, oh, David, it's parked there. He goes, yeah. I said, well, it's parked there. Can you get me 2 things out of it? Because I left a couple things in there. Right, but I haven't seen that car in so long. It's like ancient history to me. So, but I digress. I think that's pretty good. Did we nail that?
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
By the way, here's the stupid ways to do it. Oh my God, Victoria, it's been years since I saw you using a mouth guard at night. Now that might work since we're married, but like when your neighbor says that, that means they're stalking you, peeking through the windows. Not cool, right? Yeah, we get to imagine something that's so darn natural, right? I love getting compliments. I am a compliment whore. Right? and so when I go to the pool and my friend Felicia doesn't recognize me and I wave and she just looks at me like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. And she goes, so yeah, right, 6 months ago, yeah, still alive, doing great. So, there's things that work for some things and some things that work for other things. But generally, I'm going to suggest that we explore identity. And God, I don't remember where that thing is. Back in the States, the Lions Club collects eyeglasses. Do they still? Let me know.
old people's eyeglasses.
Yeah.
Like people that don't want them anymore.
Yeah, like your eye. So you put on glasses and because
Yeah.
you haven't resolved the trauma and the other bullshit. Your eyes get worse,
Yeah.
and then you put on new glasses, and then your eyes get worse because you're trying not to see something, right? So instead of us changing the identity to somebody who can see by resolving the whole thing with all the bullshit,
You just
but not how
keep
most people
upgrading
do,
your glasses.
you keep getting thicker glasses,
Yeah.
and of course you blame age. That's the story. So I say, oh wow, what if you didn't need to hide from seeing shit? What kind of person would you be, right? So we change who they are, and then suddenly they don't need glasses anymore.
But meanwhile, all those glasses go to the Lions Club.
Yeah,
Is
all
that
those
what you're
glasses
saying?
go to the
Oh, right.
Lions
Okay.
Club, right?
Yes.
And I'm not lying, right? They do, right?
Yes.
But they collect them. So what if the Lions Club started collecting, what do they call them, mouth guards?
Mouth guards.
Yeah, what if they started collecting mouth
A
guards?
night guard,
And you're going,
yeah.
oh yeah, I thought I had a night guard somewhere. Where would I find that at? Right, did
Yeah.
I actually give it away? Maybe 5 years ago. Shall we continue, Victoria?
Okay,
I think that
cool.
was fun.
Excellent.
I had fun.
So thank you, Christy, for your question.
All right. I'm going to stretch as we go into
Okay, so the last question today. Readers, asks Joe. Reading glasses? I don't know.
No, real glasses. Eyeglasses.
Right. And the last question today is from our remarkable Lisa Ann LaRocque. The power of positional and personal.
That's right.
It sounds like it's going to touch on a lot of the ones we've talked about today
Yeah.
with personal. Hello, 20 and Victoria. In a recent podcast, you quoted Neville as saying, the power of prophecy and promise
Yes.
is within each desire.
Yep.
That desires are divine instructions. Each desire has its own plan and power, and I deny that when I deny my divinity. Sorry, I'm just going to have to cough.
The whole show is ruined.
No, it's not.
Oh, she fails to respect me. I can't possibly be a happy husband.
Scripture tells of Mary Magdalene who, while Jesus was at a banquet, came to him and wept at his feet, dried her tears away with her hair, and broke her precious alabaster jar of perfume, anointing him with it. She most certainly displayed a very deep appreciation for him. I'd call their relationship personal. We are privileged to be amazingly human, divine incarnations, a position divinely appointed which is not negotiable. Yet when problems present, I've noticed how I can leave my throne, abdicating my sovereign responsibility. Personalising problems, I've placed a bastard child on the throne. My divinity is positional and personal. It's a relationship which deepens with each desire fulfilled. Scripture often recites the wonderful works of God and encourages us to praise God for his goodness. I've noticed the more I recall my success, the less apt I am to deny my divinity. Please share your comments. Thank you, Lisa.
I've got like 700 things I could draw from here.
I can't believe I know. It's just so gorgeous, everything you say. Like how you've said, like, placed a bastard child on the throne. Yeah, there's so many things in there. I love it. We are privileged to be amazingly human and divine incarnations. I don't know what to say.
Nice.
Lisa, you astound me every single week. Yes, with the way you write.
I notice I really love answering the personal questions. I love answering them all. I'll make them personal one way or the other. But I love when a question and the questioner, and it's all just very, very deep and personal and so real. I can't. So I'm flashing my VIP badge because I didn't mean to find these. So I'm working on the power of personal ad copy and course and so on. 21-day fast track, pretty darn cool. And I need a hook. I need y'all that have done more than one course with me. Notice I really, my endeavor is to always crush it with lesson one. In Manifesting Mastery course, the girls giggled. That's the one that's famous. The other ones have theirs as well. This year in Remarkable, Simon Peter. If you just listened to that and only admitted
honorable and dignified,
your whole life would change. And so many people go, well, I already know that. All right.
But do you do it?
But do you do it? See, for me, learning is behavior change. A lot of people are willing to learn about, that's called data collection. Right? I own more encyclopedias than you do. I had the World Book Encyclopedia. Marty Costa's family had the World Book, the Britannica, and one other one. They were rich, according to me, because they had more encyclopedias. And every now and then Marty would sneak one out of the house so I could borrow it. And I just loved reading it. And I love Marty for sneaking one out of the house so I could read it. I don't remember a damn thing from what I read, but I remember Marty sneaking it out. And there's this thing about when you show up, will there be pain? Will there be panic? Will there be problems? As far as I can tell, yeah. Man, I stubbed my toe the other day, and I just ripped the shit out of my toenail, and I've trimmed it. But I'm checking my toe every day for gangrene. Not that I think I have gangrene, but it hurts. It hurts like a bugger. Yeah. And so I look and just make sure, it ain't falling off, right? And I don't have to cut it off like Billy Bob did. That was a great show.
It was his finger, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was his finger. Billy Bob's in the ER, and they're telling him, well, we're going to send you for this test and that test. And he's like, sweetheart, I'm just going to cut this off right now, and you can stitch it up, right? Because I don't got time for all this. Right? We all know it's screwed.
He said sweetheart exactly the way he would say it. Yeah.
So when you stop settling for excuses, and I love so much that you brought into this, when you stop settling for excuses, you get to discover your excellence. And why do we call kings and queens and royalty your excellency? We never call them, your excusefulness. You know what drives me nuts? Hey, 20, let me tell you what happened. I leave the room. I am not interested in what happened. I'm interested in you. And when people call and they got to tell me, there was this problem and this thing and something else, and it's a never-ending story because they're not inhabiting their states. You're royalty.
It's like, I remember years ago when we were, anyway, it doesn't really matter who it was, but someone brought up about being noble, and it doesn't mean nobility. It's like coming from kings and queens and the hierarchy.
Yeah.
But being noble is like being honourable and dignified. Do you know what I mean? It's
totally,
that
absolutely.
quality. And I'd never really thought it like that. Was it loads of years ago with a particular lady? But I loved that. Sorry.
But when you can accept nobility, you get that's a nobility. When you can accept capability, superheroes have capes.
And capability, Brown did. Yes.
Yeah. But we really get to just taking the everyday events. Like I said, every day I drop the kids off at the pool. Emmett! Every day I drop the kids off at the pool. And while I'm dropping the kids off the pool, I always check Messenger. And hey, there's Joe Weldon. I think about him when I'm dropping the kids off the pool. Hey, there's someone else while I'm dropping the kids off at the pool. And I'm just having a good old time. But I'm not in there long. And when I'm done, right? But some people, they just continue to go with the shit show for days, months, years, decades. And it's like one of the unreleased podcasts I did this morning was, don't die before you lived. Please don't. And you don't know. Right? We've had 3 people crash into Ron's house. Right? well, two into his house. Well, one into his garage, one into his house, three into his fence. Right? Yeah, he's just that's Ron. Yeah, good on him.
They're probably eyeing off his house. And
Yeah,
just
they're
like,
probably looking at
"Whoa."
all the solar panels. It's like I wonder how much money he's making. Yeah, enough to pay to get the fence fixed
And the limo
and
and
the
everything.
limo. Right? We really get to just notice. Are you willing to sell your soul? Are you willing to deny your divinity? Are you willing to delay? When you delay your desires, you're denying your divinity. And I teach methods to help people notice magic because you're magical. And if you're looking for methods to fix things, you just denied you again. You don't need a fix, you're not broken. Things don't need fixed, they're not broken. But if we can play with some sort of seeming method so that you can notice a little more twinkle in your own damn eye, I think it's personal. I there's problems to having dogs. Yeah, you got to get them licensed. Maybe you get them shots. You got to feed the damn things. They bark during shows.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to wash their ass before the show. Thanks, Emmett. Shit happens, right?
Yes.
But how many people do you know that deny themselves a dog, and they really need one?
Yeah, because they're thinking about the
They're
problems of
thinking about
owning a dog
Yeah.
instead of like, the magical, beautiful times with a
I,
dog.
I had a client, right? We're doing one-on-one calls until they denied themselves that, right? And they love dogs. And so we'll do our calls, and they'd have their webcam set up, and they had a really nice webcam that gave a wide image and all that bullshit. And on their desk they had a goldfish. So it's like, me, them, and the goldfish. Well, we'll call him Goldfish Frank, right? So me, Goldfish Frank, and the goldfish, right? And Frank loves dogs. I'm like, oh wow, you got a dog too, Frank? Oh no. Yeah, I'd have to walk it, water it, feed it. Yeah, I'd have to have someone watch it when I go on holidays. When you go on holidays, Frank? Oh, a couple days every couple of years. I say, yeah, right. Big problems, right? So, you like fish?
No.
No, it was a gift. All right, so it was a gift, and you got the gift, and then not feeding the gift or giving the gift away would be a problem, right? I mean, just give the damn thing to a little girl that would like it, right? It's $20 worth of food, you're done. Yeah, you tell your friend the goldfish died, be a liar, because Frank's lying to himself. It's like I don't, and people get stuck on deservingness and all that stuff. No, they're just focused on problems. They're making problems bigger than they are. And on the other hand, like, what? Yeah, I can just see Goldfish Frank with a golden retriever. You'd love it. But, no, I can't do that. Right? Huh. So, I'm pretty good there. Anything you want to mention or you want to poke me?
Well, I've noticed that I do that too. Like when Lisa said, when problems present,
Yes.
I've noticed how I can leave my throne,
Totally.
abdicating my sovereign responsibility.
Yes.
And yes, and I love how I know years ago how you were saying a responsibility is being response able.
Yes.
So yeah.
I
don't know what else to add.
I love when people tell me they do this, right? Here's another way to go on personal.
Yes.
Mr. 20, I've decided that I'm going to have no reactions to 3D reality.
Oh.
Right. Well, I think you're an asshole. And I hang up. Right? Oh, my God. Ready? Yeah. Bing, bing, bing. What do you want? So, why'd you hang up on me? Because I think you're an asshole.
Well,
hang up
how
again.
are you responding
Right.
to 3D reality?
Hey, exactly.
Yes.
It's like right
Got
here.
you.
You're always going to respond. You're so I put up a meme. It's one of my most popular ones, and it's grown into at least 2 lessons
Growed.
in the power of personal, right?
Grown. Yes.
And so, well, grown. I mean, like it's like wine. Right, grown. But growed is a pretty cool word, right? Words have power. So there's another way. You want to go less personal? Words have power, Mr. 20. Mm-hmm. Sure they do. Buckwheat. They don't instantly turn into a little black kid from that show. Yes. What was his name? Buckwheat. Yeah. Anyway, some of y'all, Spanky and Buckwheat and the gang. But the where the fuck was I going with all that ramble?
About with deny, well,
Yeah,
your
don't know.
sovereign responsibility when you personalise problems. So I'll say it how Lisa says it. Yet when problems present, I've noticed how I can leave my throne,
Yeah,
abdicating my sovereign responsibility.
yeah. We can't
I
we?
don't know if that triggered
I don't
something.
know. Anyway, so Joseph
Yes.
got her to the max.com. Quick Crest commercial, so Victoria has more shit to type while I'm gone. So $20 off, you can get it for 27 bucks, blah, 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 right? Let's talk about the pillow of possibility.
The pillow.
Of possibility, right? For me, it's my crown. So when I lay there, and so every day I wake up and I do my Jogo. I don't do the good day method, right? I do my Jogo because I want to have three things called accomplishment, ownership, and satisfaction. So I take specific events from my day and I imagine them my way. I can now 9 to 15, pretty quick and easy, while my head is on the pillow. Now this is important. So I'm waking up in the morning. I discover again that I've got a body. Power of personal. I'm not pretending I'm my body, right? So when I realize I'm divinity, I realize I'm the king and I got a body. That's cool. I like that. And I discovered I have a body because a little bit of cortisol showed up at 4:30 in the morning. Got that. And now while I'm laying here and I'm thinking about, well, should I get up and think about Joe Weldon while I drop the kids off the pool? All right, I'll imagine hearing some good shit from Joe. All right. So I'll nail some very specific events from my day having gone my way. Ownership, accomplished, satisfied. And I'll get up. Now here's what happens, right? I'll take me a nap in the afternoon, right? I'm just done with all this bullshit. So I take me a nap, I eat a mountain of meat, a pile of pork, and I lay down and take a little nap. And while I find myself waking up again about an hour later, my head is on what? The pillow of possibility,
Right.
otherwise known as my royal crown. So I'm putting my crown on, and I'm automatically on autopilot. I'm imagining up 5 to 10, 6 to 12 really cool shit things for the rest of my day. Like the show not going to shit when she sneezes.
Excuse me.
Right?
Yes.
And so I'm imagining up these specific events of my day having specifically gone my way. That's all right. And off I go. Now, here's the thing. A lot of y'all hate going to bed because you wake up at 3 in the morning pissing and shitting yourself, sleeping like a baby, right? Worried about shit, screaming. Right? Been there, done that. Or you wake up in the morning and you're dreading the rest of your day. Oh, it's 5 o'clock in the morning and I got to go deal with them. I have to not accomplish something else again today, not complete another project. Oh, this will be great. Just like that taught you how to do in Catholic school. We never finished a book. But I digress. There they go. So, royalty, personally, I call it, unbelievable. I call it my pillow of possibility. Y'all know what this is? This is my friend and freedom finder. My car is a chariot, right?
Oh.
It's the
How many steeds are in the front of it?
it's the silver fox. It's my chariot.
What horsepower is it?
I have no idea.
Because
Yeah.
you could say I have 3,000 steeds pulling my car.
Well, I can tell you, it goes zoom zoom, but it's personal. How personal can you let your life be? I can promise you this. You know, the more personal you can let your life be, the less problematic you'll be oriented. And this whole thing about pains that you have to get rid of or beyond of, whenever I entered into very deeply personal, I want to fight again. And I'm not talking be nasty to people. I just like moving that way. It's a lot of fun. Watch Jackie Chan move. I don't move like him, but I move. And boy, I have a lot of fun, right? So I double dog dare you. How personal can you let it be? And if you really want to go nuts, join us on the fast track. Details on that very soon. Keep your eyes open
It's
for
called
something.
The Power of Personal, isn't it?
Yeah, but we don't have the website up yet.
Yeah.
Or the sales page. Or
Yeah.
but there's something about VIP in there. Because until you're the VIP in your life, right? Problems.
Was it called Little
Pains.
Rascals?
Yeah, that was it.
Right,
Yeah,
Lisa.
Lisa on the Rock. Thank you.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, excellent.
All right, I'd be done.
All right. So, thank you so much, Lisa,
Oh
for
my
your
God,
question.
talk about the power of personal. Look at that coffee cup. Oh, dear God.
Faith is measured by your confidence in you.
Yeah, my man's faith in God is measured by his confidence in himself. I don't stare at paintings, right?
And that's
I don't
my
believe in
personal
numbers.
side because it's got my flower on it.
True.
Whoa, wrong way.
Right.
Columbine, Equalesia. Right. Okay, so what we want to know is tell us what was your hashtag strawberry bit.
Yo, Frankorama.
I don't know, babe. You go for it. Well, I do know.
All right.
I think, sorry, the initial quote that Bonnie, we stole from Bonnie about state, yeah? And how it all comes back to state and how as we move through states or leave a desired state and like, I don't know, worry about problems, like each one seemed to touch on that. So, yeah, I think that is my hashtag strawberry bits.
You know, Bonnie put that quote up a couple days ago, and I never got around to it, and then I stole it.
Yes.
So today, I went to the health food store for the longest time. This here
Has been out of
look at that.
stock.
Liposomal glutathione.
We can get from other companies.
Yeah, but they suck.
This is
right?
fabulous.
The different companies have different flavors of the stuff. There's French whore flavor. There's burnt strawberry flavor.
French whore.
Like seriously, it's like so.
Yes.
So I told them. I said, look, mine. Right? I need you to get them, and I need you to know they're mine. So I walk in today, and she says, well, we got two, and I was going to call you.
But you didn't.
Yeah.
Rachel.
And she goes to the back of the store dutifully, right? Gets them and brings them out because she knows I don't even have to say yes; they're mine.
Yeah.
Right. And here's the thing, personal. Right. When I noticed my car, okay, I Lisa and LaRock was one of my car buddies working through all my issue, and it's like I can't figure out what car I want. Yeah. And when I saw my car in the parking lot and fell in love with it, I told Victoria, I found it. It's a CLK 320. I don't even know what that means, but it's a nice car. I'll take some photos.
Yeah.
And then I go in the pool, and my buddy Jim says something to me, and my buddy Rod overhears it. And Rod says,
You're looking for a car.
yeah, you're looking for one. I said, yeah. So I bought it. And I said, what color is it? I didn't even know the color of the car that I just bought. We agreed on a price. I agreed to buy it. He agreed to sell it, pending Wendy approving. And I took it, mine. Now, the funny thing is, it was that very car. Right? We went out, and he's like, all right, want to drive it? I said, no, I'll drive it when I own it. But take me for a ride. So he spun me around. He goes, all right, you sure? I said, it's mine. Personal, ownership, accomplished, satisfied, and intimate. All right.
Cool. Hello, Mark Dockeray.
Darkery.
I know, Dockery.
So my strawberry bit, just how y'all elicited personal. Every one of these has a personal solution. Richard Branson made getting to the island personal. And he's made success personal. You notice Branson is on all of his properties. You can't get away from the guy. Right? You know what most people try to do? Get away from their problems. Let's go on vacation again. Let's get high. Right? On the other hand, I'm the drug. Right? You could be the drug too, and I'm talking in the most delightful way. What if you just... All right, I gotta stop talking.
Okay.
It's 11:08. Good God.
So while you type in your hashtag strawberry bits, thank you, Diane. I just saw you've put yours up. Go to...
For right now, NevilleGoddardStore.com. Get some goodies, have some fun, invest in you. Why not? Always be investing. And we'll put the 21-day fast track up there very, very soon. What's coming together for that is dynamite. And it's very...
VIP, the wrong way.
There it is, VIP.
Yeah. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right.
Okay.
I think that's it. I love you, Victoria. Look at that.
Love you.
Look at her. Look at her.
Thank you for joining.
All right.
See ya.
How do I push that button there?